Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another options and play video update. Everybody's talking about the Zoom move today, and myself included. I had a serious case of FOMO this morning. I felt going into earnings that um, the the good numbers were close to being priced in, especially after yesterday when the stock was up like 20 some odd points. It seemed everybody was expecting a blowout. Option pricing was super high. Stock had run basically nonstop for like 2 weeks into the print. So it was one of those scenarios where I just felt like, I felt like the numbers were going to be great, but I also felt like everybody was expecting great numbers, and I just wasn't confident that I was going to move enough to reward options, right? And I was dead wrong, because not only did it move enough to reward options, but um, it moved about 3 times what they were pricing in. They were looking for like 38, and at one point today it was up over 120. Actually, at one point today it was up over like 140, I believe. So it went way, 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 way beyond what they were expecting, what they were pricing in, and obviously I wish I had options on it, right? And this type of scenario has played out several times this quarter, or maybe even more than several times. It plays out pretty frequently too, um, throughout earnings season, because you'll have a lot of names that kind of run into earnings, and you question what's priced in. Is it going to live up to the expectations? Is it going to move enough to reward options, right? And that, to me, is enough question marks where a lot of times I'll leave that setup alone, right? And what I will do is look at sympathy trades, right? I talk about it a lot. It's like closely correlated peers. So if I think maybe expectations are too high and it might not live up to it, or if I think the pricing is too high, then I'll look at something that could possibly move off of that print, right? So Zoom, unfortunately, again, I wasn't in it, right? But it doesn't mean that there weren't ways to capitalize, right? So work from home trend. There's not like an exact competitor, or I mean maybe close to it with maybe like a Cisco, right? But then you had like a Ring, so it says like the same like video conferencing, right? I mean you can see that it didn't even gap that much, but it actually surged through the 300 area and broke out this morning, right? So it was a name where maybe you didn't want to participate in Zoom, but you could look at something that could benefit if the Zoom number really crushed it, right? So Ring was another one. So Slack, so another name, right? So work from home. People uh, seem to kind of mention this and Zoom in like the same breath, right? I mean, they say Slack and Zoom really benefiting from the work from home trend. So you figured if Zoom really crushed it, that work would probably see a little bit of a boost, right? And that's what happened today. The stock rallied similar to Zoom into earnings yesterday, into Zoom's report, and then it got a big jump, or a big boost today after Zoom's earnings, right? So again, like these are names where you could look at playing because they're kind of closely correlated. They don't necessarily do video conferencing, all of them, but they're kind of in that basket of work from home, right? Another one, and this one's still kind of smarting about, is Docusign. This was one I felt set up well for a ramp into the report style trade. And this is the day I was looking at it. It was like Tuesday of last week, and then on Wednesday is when that Salesforce number, or Tuesday after the close, and then Wednesday is when everything in software kind of ripped across the board, and DocuSign gapped and ran, and it was away from my entrance, and I didn't want to chase it. And going into last night, I was like still kind of smarting about it, and even though I thought maybe I should put some on, I said, oh, I don't want to pay up because I was looking at it 20 points ago. And then what do you know, all right? Zoom crushes it. And DocuSign, another work from home stock that reports later this week, is up 40, almost 50 points. So again, there are ways to participate in some of these earnings reports if you're worried that expectations or maybe option pricing is too high, right? So that's why I place such an emphasis quarter after quarter after quarter on like looking for these sympathy trades or these closely correlated peers, right? Because a lot of times they will react to the numbers, but the options won't be priced nearly as high from an implied volatility perspective because they don't have that catalyst, right? So long story short, still a lot of things moving, right? There's still a lot of potential, even if you aren't comfortable like participating in some of like the bigger events or paying up for some of the more expensive options, right? There's still other ways to go about playing it. And I mean, I hope it continues to be as busy as it is. I mean, we still have some earnings coming up this week. We got some earnings on the radar for next week. So still a lot to look forward to, all right? So if you like this video and you're looking for more information on options trading or earnings trading with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Hope you have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.